really understand the enormity of what's about to happen. And I have his bio here in front of me. He started his career in medicine in 1974 after graduating top of his class, folks, from Bologna University School of Medicine in Italy. He is originally from Tel Aviv, Israel. He moved to New York in 1975, where he spent his first 25 years as a board-certified OBGYN. Then all of a sudden, he makes a big switch in his career by converting to holistic medicine. And for the last 18 years, he's been specializing in regenerative medicine. Please welcome Dr. Moshe Deckel. Dr. Deckel, how are you?
I'm doing great.
I got to ask you this question. Why that? I mean, 18 years ago, you knew something before most people did, right? I mean, to make that kind of move in holistic, integrative, complementary medicine was a big move. What did you see that most people didn't see?
You know, you give me a lot of credit, and I appreciate that. But let me tell you the true story about this.
Okay.
Yes, I was always open to more holistic approach, even in conventional medicine. I always liked supplementation, diet was important, etc. But the main reason that I changed is because in 2000, my neck and back sent me a short email. It said the following: "You're out of surgery." I know it was not a good email to receive. It was definitely a black day, most likely like your lost six-figure income. But I think that we have something in common. You didn't just go home and cry. You find a way to get out of it. And so did I. So as the door closed on my surgery days and my delivery days, another door opened. And that was the door to what I like to call the real medicine, holistic medicine. And I delved right into it and found out how much they didn't teach me. In medical school, residency, 20 years of postgraduate courses, and I realized that the model, the Western model of medicine is nothing to do with prevention. It has nothing to do with nutrition. It has nothing to do with natural product. It has to do with how fast can you diagnose, how many procedures can you do, how many diagnostic procedures can you do, what kind of surgery, what kind of radiation, chemotherapy, etc. So why teach doctors about anything and prevent? So obviously, from then on, I just didn't look back and continued to further my education and helped a lot of people along the way, and God's willing, will continue to help a lot of other people along the way.
Well, I tell you what, this company has the most incredible, doctors, so about this company, LifeVantage, and with your credibility and who you were in the complementary side of medicine in New York City, why did you choose LifeVantage?
Again, an excellent question. In fact, I wasn't looking. It fell into my lap, and in the beginning, obviously that's Bob Weiner and April introduced me to the business. In the beginning, I said, Bob, listen, I have about 80 different products in my practice. I'm not looking for anything new. So he was smart enough. He didn't argue with me. He said, you know what, that's great. But before you say no, why don't you look it up on PubMed? And he kept quiet. I looked at him and I said, what does it have to do with PubMed? PubMed is conventional medicine, NIH website. He said, well, we just happen to have 23 studies. I said, really? He said, yes. So I started reading it, and I changed my mind pretty quickly because none of my 80 products can reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And that's how the whole thing started.
What a great story. Well, I've got this nutrigenomics slide up, and folks, if you're tuning in for the very first time tonight, Nutra is food, genomics is gene expression. And you can see what the Today Show quote on this slide. It says, the latest trend in nutrition isn't a fad diet or a newly discovered supplement, it's your DNA. So it's turning down our bad genes while it's turning up our good genes. Fox News says the ability to use nutrition to affect our genes means we're no longer at the mercy of our DNA. So it's really interesting science. And, with Dr. McCord, discovering, this incredible product, Dr. Deckel, let me change the slide and let's just get this show on the road. Help everybody just kind of walk through with everyone, what is oxidative stress and how significant is it to the body? Should we be concerned about it?
Yes, we should be concerned about it. And the reason is the following. As we make energy, as we combine carbon with oxygen through the mitochondria, we make what we call ATP. ATP is the energy molecule that without which there's no life. And the more we make, the better it is, the more energy we have to what? To do our activity during the day and to repair during the night. The problem is that along the way, as a byproduct, as the exhaust, so to speak, of this mechanism of creating energy, we have free radicals. Free radicals are molecules that are not stable, that are missing an electron. This is a state that they don't like to be in, and what they do is they are looking for any other molecule that has this electron, and they actually, for lack of a better word, stealing that electron to be whole. So they're happy, but now the other one is not happy. They steal from somebody else. And this kind of action happens millions of times per second all over our body. And this is the basis of aging. The more it happens, the faster we age, but also the basis of all chronic diseases. Because if you look at the milieu, at the background, so to speak, of what is necessary for chronic disease, all of them, chronic diseases in plural, to actually start and take hold and progress is oxidative stress, which is directly related to free radicals. So McCord, as you mentioned, was working with this for 40 years, and he came up with 5 different ingredients, as you can see at the bottom of the slide: turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, bacopa, and ashwagandha. And some of you may say, well, wait, I'm taking this, and that, Yeah, I can deal with it. It's not the same. He worked on it for 40 years to get the right mixture and the right way to put them together, to the point he was actually able to patent it. And he came up with what we call NRF, nuclear respiratory factor, that's what it stands for, 2, which actually means it actually goes to the nucleus and tells it to make 3 main enzymatic pathways that are very powerful antioxidants: catalase, SOD, superoxide dismutase, and glutathione. These are loaded with antioxidants or extra electrons. So not like vitamin C, vitamin E, resveratrol, which are antioxidants. But as you like to say, it's one and done. In other words, they have an extra, they give it to donate to the free radical, but then they're done. Whereas the systems I just mentioned have tremendous ability to do it a million times more effectively. And that's the beauty of this NRF system ability to reduce this oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days.
So let me get this. I want to make sure that I understand what you're saying, because this is monumental. So you mean to tell me when I take my vitamin C, a direct antioxidant, and folks, by the way, Dr. Deckel and myself are not saying we don't need that in your diet. What we're saying is direct antioxidants cannot reduce free radical damage, because what Dr. Deckel is saying, I want to make sure I get this right, so correct me if I'm wrong. When my body absorbs it, it releases a good guy, it finds that bad guy, a free radical, and then they're both destroyed and excrete out the body. So it's one and done. Now, when you take Protandim, it activates that protein messenger NRF2, and its main function is to make antioxidant enzymes like glutathione. When glutathione attaches itself to the bad guy, are you telling me only the bad guy dies? and glutathione keeps working and it kills 1 million bad guys per second?
That's about right. And then it goes back to reload.
So folks, what team do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the one and done team or on the 1 in 1 million team?
That's a hard question. It's a little late at night. I don't know if I can answer it, but obviously, yes.
Now, you mentioned the 5 ingredients and how they work synergistically together. This next slide, can you kind of just share with the audience, you know, the significance of taking those products individually as compared to when they work synergistically together?
Excellent. So again, some of them are antioxidants, and again, it's one and done. But when you put it together in the formulation that Dr. McCord was able to find after 40 years of hard work, as you can see, it increases the capability of the system by 1,800%. In other words, 18 times more effective than all the other system. And you can see, you know, the red bar, well, where do you want to be? To me, I want to be with the red bar. Okay, and that's why it is so incredibly innovative, and Big Pharma is stumbling over themselves to try to find something that they can patent, because this is a huge deal. The NRF2 and the NRF1, which we're going to talk about in a second, this is not just like, okay, we discovered something. This is a major way to increase lifespan, decrease oxidative stress, and prevent oxidative stress and chronic disease. Even though we cannot say it's meant to prevent or cure anything because of FDA guidelines. But what we're showing you are the slides, the studies, and you're smart enough to draw your own conclusions.
So folks, this is what Dr. McCord says, and I'll never forget this. He says, you know, imagine the building that you're in right now, all right? And the building is your body. And the building's on fire, and fire is oxidative stress. By taking one of these ingredients at a time is like trying to, you know, take a Dixie cup full of water and trying to put the fire out. You with me? Now, this 5 ingredients together would be like the building that you're in has a sprinkler system, and the sprinkler system's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the fire hydrants outside the building are pouring water on it. So you're constantly keeping that fire down by 40%. You understand the difference between the two? And that is a metaphor that I have not have forgotten, you know. So it's incredible. It's just getting your own body to do its own work, what your body was meant to do for the first 20 years of life, and that's make more good guys. And that's what this product does. Now, Dr. Deckel, we have this next slide validates what you've been saying. Can you just kind of help, you know, the viewing audience, help them to understand the significance of a dietary supplement, you know, having peer-reviewed science?
It's quite frankly the first product that I know of that has that much scientific validation behind it. And the reason is very simple. Why this is the only one and not others? Because all other non-patented supplements that we have don't have exclusivity. So, and studies cost millions and millions of dollars. It doesn't make any economical sense for any manufacturer to do studies about a product that's not patented and let his competitors or her competitors use it and say, thank you very much, now we can use this study. So what's the difference? The difference is that everybody wants to get on the bandwagon of NRF1 and NRF2 because it will change the face of medicine the way we want it, the way we know it. And Big Pharma is spending billions, hundreds of billions to try to find a way to patent a drug. So these universities, Ohio State and Harvard and Colorado State and all the other publications are actually using Protandim because it's a proven NRF2. So what they do is they're studying NRF2 to prove what kind of significant effect it has on health and other issues that faces the human race. And therefore, now we have 23 studies, and I'm sure that this is not going to stop, because on both sides of the equation, scientists are trying to find a way to get a better handle on it. And the good news is that we have already a handle on it, on both the NRF1 and NRF2.
Well, folks, you heard what Dr. Deckel said, that this product does not treat, mitigate, prevent, or cure. What we're saying is, and what we can actually say that the FDA cannot prevent us from saying, is what this product does based on this science. It reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And what you have to understand is, you have to understand oxidative stress doesn't have anything to do with emotional stress. It's a major contributing factor of how we get diseases, and it's slowing down the aging process on a cellular level. All right, so think about that for a second. I don't know anybody that doesn't want to slow down the aging and diseasing process by 40%, and that's what this product does. And you have universities that are continuing to study this years and years and years and years after it's been around. So what I have seen, Dr. Deckel, when I started nearly 10 years ago, there were only 3 peer-reviewed studies, you know, and there was only 1 patent. Now today we have over 2 dozen now peer-reviewed studies, and 12 patents, 7 US and 5 international patents. Now, the significance, folks, of what we're talking about tonight, I think Washington State University really helps us understand the enormity and what NRF2 activation is. And Dr. Deckel, I'll let you, kind of walk everybody through the significance of this statement right here on what Washington State says.
Well, if you just read it, we may be on the verge of the new literature on health effects of NRF2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. So we're not saying it, they're saying it. We're just celebrating their science and their findings. I just want to mention one item that nobody can dispute, which is that we can actually check oxidative stress level by doing a test which is called the T-bars, T-B-A-R-S. This is a simple blood test that can show the level of oxidation of fatty acids. So we can take before and after. You take a baseline, you take the Protandim for 30 days, and you find out that in average, 40% will be less. And, the 9-minute famous video of ABC investigative report, John Quinones, the investigator, actually showed himself he went 45% in 2 weeks, not 30 days, 2 weeks. So these are undisputable scientific findings. It's not somebody's conjecture or opinion.
And folks, what's really interesting is, and thank you folks for sending me these texts. 10 years ago, when I got started with LifeVantage, there was less than 1,000 studies on PubMed. Now, Dr. Deckel just mentioned to you the National Institutes of Health. That's our library of science. 10 years ago, there was less than 1,000 studies on NRF2. Today, there's over 12,000 studies on PubMed. So PubMed, to help you to understand, is the most scrutinized way to get something completely validated by experts in that field of study. And one of those experts doesn't agree with the science. Guess what, folks? It doesn't make it in that journal. So we are onto something. Now, I want everyone to put your entrepreneurial hats on, all right? Being first, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? All right? I mean, think about this, folks. Who would have thought when flip phones came out that we would have these bad boys, right? Who would have thought that taxi cabs would be taken over by people who own cars and a company called Uber? Who would have thought that Blockbuster, remember Blockbuster? Or it's defunct, it's gone. It was taken over by Netflix and companies like that. Who would have thought that dozens and dozens and dozens of retail stores, right, like Sears, will be taken over by online companies like Amazon? That's the direction that Dr. Deckel is telling us about right now, is taking antioxidants are a thing of the past. Making them is the future. And that's exactly what this product does. Now, Dr. Deckel, this next slide, help everybody understand there are now over 10 pharmaceutical companies right now fighting, trying to come up with synthetic versions, of NRF2. Kind of help everyone understand what this slide says right here.
Well, a company by the name of Biogen actually put together a drug called Tecfidera. That's the BG12. And Tecfidera is supposed to be an NRF2 activator. That's what they say it is. But it's interesting in two main important things. Actually, three. Number one, it costs $80,000 a year. Number two, it has significant side effects. And number three, it's less effective than Protandim. So no matter how you look at it, we're better. It's $40 item versus $80,000 a year, and no side effects whatsoever. So, and this is only one company. There are other companies out there that are doing the same thing. Again, for them to find a prescription drug which is patented that does NRF2 or NRF1 or both of them without side effects, to them, it's going to be the next statin explosion. It's going to be in the trillions of dollars.
Yeah, it's crazy, folks. I mean, you can read in the green print. Now, of course, Dr. Deckel and myself have to tell each and every one of you, this is the conclusion. And legally, we have to tell you, you have to read the entire study. But the journal, but the abstract or the conclusion says, and this is coming from Biogen, folks. Biogen wrote this. The company who made this, this $400 million drug. It said, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy. Now, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't think you will, you can't outdo God. Folks, listen to me. All this product does is get your own body, your own genes, your own enzymes to do what they were meant to do. And that's make more good guys. That's all this product does. So obviously, getting your own body to do its own work, you're not going to have any side effects. You're not going to have any drug-on-drug interactions. And that's what attracted Dr. Deckel to this company. And obviously what attracted me to this company. Now, Dr. Deckel, this last slide right here, I want to say shame on LifeVantage. Shame on me. I don't think that this company does a good enough job to help everyone understand the impact of this next study. And that is the study that was done by the National Institutes of Aging. Can you just kind of walk everyone through that study?
Well, this is a 10-year study, and they actually studied male mice. We don't know why they didn't study female, but they studied male mice. And what they showed that out of different various other natural products like alpha-lipoic acid, resveratrol, fish oil, and turmeric, and Protandim, Protandim was the only one that was able to increase lifespan by 7%. I don't know about you guys, but I'll take the 7% to the bank.
Now, I asked the scientists, you know, the lifespan of a male mice by 7%. How much is that in human years? And she told me
probably about 5 to 6 years.
Yeah. I mean, and folks, we're not saying you want to buy this product or take this product to have a longer life. We're telling you, you want to take this product to have a better quality of life, even though it says it impacted lifespan, not health span. So it's the first time, Dr. Deckel, that these incredible scientists have been trying to figure out, you know, how to extend lifespan, and Protanim's the only product that's ever been proven to do so. And folks, it's third party now, okay? It was done by the National Institutes of Aging, and it was funded by the National Institutes of Health. And so LifeVantage had nothing to do with the study. That's how incredible this product is. Now, Dr. Deckel.
Yes.
Protandim NRF2 has a brother or a sister or a cousin, however you want to put it. The company's moving in this direction that no other companies are, and that's the activation of pathways. Kind of help everyone understand, you know, it's brother or sister, NRF1.
Yes, so NRF1 is also an activator. It goes to and supports the mitochondria. The mitochondria are small organelles within each cell that are actually making energy. Remember we talked about the ATP? It increases ATP, but also supports the mitochondria to actually multiply, but also support the health of the mitochondria. So what we have here is a double punch. On one hand, we are increasing the mitochondria's ability to make more ATP, which is very important because without that, there's no life, or with little ATP, there's very limited life. The problem is that when we make more ATP, we're also making more free radicals. It's like oxidation. You know, we can't live without oxygen, but oxygen kills us slowly. So as we make more energy, the NRF1 actually supports the mitochondria to do that. But now with the NRF2 is prohibiting or impeding or counteracting the fact that we're making more free radicals. So here we have a complete system of making more energy, but actually preventing the side effects or the spillover of making more energy, which is the free radicals.
So you're saying that these products, you know, you take, you know, in tandem, right? Together, they work better together than one, you know, by itself. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That's why it's called the dual pack. I don't take one of them, I take both of them.
Absolutely. And so do I, folks. So incredible. And you know, I don't know about you, but, you know, I'm sure you can use a little bit more energy throughout the day. I'm sure you can, you know, use a little bit better sleep throughout the night, you know, especially REM sleep. And that's the benefits of taking these two products together. And folks, they're priced for profit. You know, I mean, you're not talking about a lot of money here, you know, so you're talking, you know, $85 for both products, which is incredible. And somehow I lost, let me go ahead and set this back up. There we go. All right, Dr. Deckel, let's move on. I want to get to you know, the business side of it, okay? And folks, to kind of give you, you know, just a rundown, you know, we just don't have time to go in all the products. You know, what we talked about tonight, the activators, the anti-aging world is a $300 billion industry. We have NRF2 in skincare, which is a $200 billion industry. We have NRF2 in the hair care, which is a $100 billion industry. We have NRF2 in our pet tandem for our dogs, smart energy. We'll be covering these products, you know, as the weeks go by. But I want to get into the company now and the opportunity part of I didn't mean to hit that button right there. Let's talk about LifeVantage. Dr. Deckel, what do you like best about LifeVantage? I know you researched this company before you put your impeccable name on it. What's some of the things that you like the best about the company?
Well, of course, we're talking about other the products. We already talked about the products. What else I like about it is, number one, it's publicly traded, so it's not a mom and pop shop that they can decide what to do whenever they want to without any consequence whatsoever. The fact that we have leadership that has over 100 years of experience within the network marketing business, because this is not a regular CEO and CFO, et cetera. Our business is different than GE or Verizon. We are definitely different. So when we have at the helm people like we do, I know that we go in the right place. The fact that the products are patented, they cannot be duplicated, okay? And the fact that they work. And the fact that the timing could not be better, because we already passed the growing pains of a startup company, and we're just about to start the accelerated phase where we're going to go from $200 million to the billion, and it's probably within the next 2 to 3 years. So from the business point of view, this is the best time to start. And when I, evaluated all this, I said, you know what? I like the products, they work. Why would I be involved on the business side and make more money residually, so I don't have to depend only on what I do in medicine? And as you know, I practice in 3 states, New York, South Carolina, and Georgia. But in my career, I had 2 different events that were totally out of my control. Number one, managed care came to town in 1992. I had nothing to do about it, could not do anything. They were able to cut my income by 50% in 8 years. And back in 2000, my neck and back went out. I had nothing to do about that as far as controlling it. So twice in my career, things happened that could have destroyed my ability to have a good living. So putting your egg in one basket, that is not what I do. I diversify, and this is going to replace my current income probably within the next 2 to 3 years. And I want to join you on the bench at Pro 10 very soon.
Well, you're doing a heck of a job, right? And folks, he's just getting his feet wet right now. He's what you call a Premier Pro 6, which is a $600,000 a year business. And just like he said, it's a side hustle for him. It's a plan B, is what it is. And that's exactly how I started. I started out wanting to make $2,200 a month just to keep my 2 children in private school. Never in a million years would I've ever thought I would be walking away from a 30-year career in 22 months, and that was 8 years ago. Dr. Deckel, I, like yourself, love the fact that we're publicly traded. I like to be able to see everything. Everything's transparent. Folks, just understand this. When I became a distributor, the company was a $3 million a year business. I understood the enormity of peer-reviewed studies. We only had 3 back then. So just stay with me here. It was only a $3 million a year business. The company lost money every single year it was in the retail world. We were only in 1 country. Stock was at 17 cents. Because I understood the enormity of peer-reviewed studies, and the Mayo Clinic doctors validated those 3 studies for me, I learned how to become a professional in this business. And that's why it retired me 22 months later. But what I've seen, and I want to share with all of you in these last nearly 10 years, and you can look at this. We just released our 3rd quarter fiscal earnings. And every metric was positive. And 2018 was a huge year for this company. And 2019, we're already starting to grow exponentially faster. And just like Dr. Deckel says, this company is going to make that next leap, and timing is everything. I love the fact that the company just opened its 15th country last Friday, just opened up Ireland. And if you go to Yahoo Finance, and if you're, like facts like I do, you can type in our stock symbol and you can read the pro forma. I mean, this company's projected to be in over 100 markets. Folks, we're only in 15 right now. Now, other than, well, actually, only Ireland is the one that we're open for business as customers and distributors. Belgium will be open this month, and then it will be followed suit by Italy, France, Austria, New Zealand, and the Dominican Republic. The flags that you see on the first two lines were already open for distributorships. That's business, like little miniature franchises, as well as customers. So I've seen the company grow from one country to just opening up its 15th. Stock closed, I don't know exactly what it closed out with today, but I know at the beginning of the day, it was well over $12. And everybody thought I was nuts that I was buying stock at 17 cents. The CEOs that I did business with was doing this: run, Gabe, run from this company. You're not going to have a product to endorse. This company has no money, because we're a penny stock. We're a pink sheet. And I've watched it go from a pink sheet to being now traded on the NASDAQ. So it's incredible, folks. This new paradigm in health that Dr. Deckel was sharing with you tonight is coming with us or without us. We're not talking about a weight loss shake, folks. What I call a Me Too product. How many weight loss shakes are there? They're a dime a dozen, right? We have the only NRF2, NRF1 activators. We're the first activators in the world. Now, put your entrepreneur hat on. I'll use this analogy. Dr. Deckel, what if you're the only regenerative medicine doctor in the world? You're the only holistic doctor. Anybody that wants integrative complementary medicine, they have to come to see you. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
It'd be a great thing, but the thing is, I won't be able to sleep.
you won't be, I know you won't be able to retract fast enough. So folks, that's what we have. Think about that. Think about what you do for a living, regardless if you own the company or not, right? If you own it, you know what I'm talking about. Now, imagine having no competition. Now, what I want you to imagine, what if, I'll use this analogy again to Dr. Deckel. Dr. Deckel, what if ABC News comes knocking on your door tomorrow morning? Now, what state are you in tomorrow morning? Where are you right now?
I'm going to be in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
So ABC News is in Hilton Head, South Carolina. They come knock on your door and this is Dr. Deckel. We've been hearing nothing but great things about what you're doing. We want to do a positive spin on it. Would it help you build your business with no competition?
Of course it would.
Folks, that's what we have. Now think about what I'm saying, right? Now the hard part of this is, you're right. Nobody has ever heard of NRF2 activation or nutrigenomics. But everything that's coming out of my mouth tonight, I learned after I became a part of this company. I'm a guy that can get you in shape. I'm not a doctor that was at the top of his class, right? So so for all the little people out there, you can do this business like I have, okay? So that's what I see. I see no competition. I see ABC News, is our advertisement. And what's going to happen is, as these pharmaceutical companies start throwing out those synthetic NRF2 activators, and now they're on TV. And if you're into well-being and health and understand how important your health is, let me just ask you a question. Would you rather take a drug, or would you rather take an all-natural product? So as those people do their research to find out what this NRF2 is, guess what they're going to find? You, right? Our product. Now listen to me very carefully, folks. I want all the guests on this webinar tonight, if you haven't watched that ABC Primetime News piece, just get with the person who invited you on this webinar. They'll send it to you. And when you watch the video that was done in 2005, yes, it's archaic, but it's the beginning of this company story. I want you to understand something. That science has yet to be duplicated. And that was 05, right? We have something that nobody else has. And if you listen to Dr. McCord, who spent 40 years in a lab trying to figure that out, you'll understand the enormity of, he said, when he came to Jacksonville, he told me that it was like finding one needle in 3 haystacks. He says, Gabe, I'm not sure if I could do it again. And he's talking about the question was, I said, Dr. McCord, how did you come up with those 5 plants? Of all the phytonutrients in the world, how did you come up with those 5? He said to me, quote unquote, it was a God thing. He goes, I'm not sure if I could do it again. It's like finding one needle in 3 haystacks. That's why the science hasn't been duplicated. Folks, this works inside the cell, a protein messenger called NRF2, and it gets your body to do what it was meant to do. That's the significance of why we have the likes of Dr. Deckel on this team. This company now has over 1,050 healthcare professionals, tied into this company. So it's extremely exciting. And all of you can do this business. It's a proven system. First and foremost, how would you like to have Dr. Deckel on your team, helping you build your business? Well, that's what these webinars are for. Think about this. If you're a guest tonight, I'm hoping you're kind of itching in your seat, wishing you had 5 of your friends watching this to share this with them. Because what these webinars are is to help you build your business. So next Monday night, I'll have another professional doctor on this webinar talking about another product. Actually, I know who it's going to be. It's going to be the PGA Tour doctor, Dr. Buster Browning, here in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, going to be my guest next Monday night. So I would get with the person who invited you to this webinar, get yourself a LifeVantage ID number, right? And throughout this week, invite 3 to 5 of your friends. And they can be in Hilton Head, South Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida. They can be in 15 countries, barring the time, right? Time zone. And they can listen to us say, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, and this is what we do next. How cool is that? So today, businesses are moving in a different direction. Dr. Deckel the reason why he has a $600,000 a year business, because he can do it on a smartphone. He can send, a patient or another doctor a link to the ABC Primetime News piece and says, I found something for us that we can do together. It's called social sharing. It's laptop lifestyle. And what's really fascinating is the company has an app, and our slogan is to be able to use the app easier than it is to get an Uber, right? It's artificial intelligence, and it really helps you build the business without using your mouth, because the app will do everything for you. So it's really, really cool how easy it is today building a business in network marketing. It's not like, generation 1 or generation 2, where you have to drive to Hilton Head, stay in a hotel, spend money and time to build a business. We can do it through the advent of the internet. Dr. Deckel is in his office in his home. I'm in my office in my home, and we've got a couple hundred people on this webinar that we're helping build their business. Welcome to Generation 3 network marketing. You'll have your own replicated site, your own, website that costs you no money. And it's like, you ever bought something on Amazon? You have a shopping cart? That's how simple it is, folks. So it's an incredible business that you can do as a side hustle. There's what the cart looks like when you're ready to check out. It's like a side hustle. So don't give up your day job. Use this as a secondary source of income. And the reason why this industry is growing by tens of billions of dollars a year is because of what I just said. It's the advent of the internet. Everything's moving at an accelerated pace, right? The brick and mortar is a thing of the past. My wellness company, I'll give you some stats here. My wellness company only did $1 million a year. Just my payroll was 50,000. So it's 50,000 times 12. 600,000 of that million went to payroll. That didn't count insurance, leases, marketing, legal, and on and on. So when everything was paid, what did I get? Chump change. Okay. Today, this business, LifeVantage, my business does over $1 million a month, not a year, and it only costs me $200 a month to operate. So for all your business owners out there, Dr. Deckel, what would your practice look like at the end of each month on your balance sheet under fixed cost? $200 to operate your practice. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Well, this is unheard of. In my previous practice, it was 75% over.